Shabbat Shalom. So I have a question. What makes you Jewish? Is it your parents? Is it tearing up when you hear John Walls play Kol Nidre? Is it Mel Brooks? Is it lox and schmear on a bagel? Is it feeling something special, something profound when you walk through a Holocaust museum or when you see an Israeli flag? Does keeping kosher or belonging to a synagogue or a particular type of prayer practice or knowing Hebrew or having a particular belief in God or a connection to mitzvot, is that what makes you Jewish? Each of these things I mentioned represent different parts of what make up our Jewish identities. Each of us has a different relationship with prayer, with Israel, with God, with the Jewish community, with kashrut, with music, with humor. So perhaps trying to reconcile the similarities in our identities isn't the answer. In Exodus, God tells the Israelites that they are a people set apart. God says, "You will be to me a kingdom of priests." That is to say, a holy nation. So what does it mean to be a holy nation? It's to act in a priestly way, in a way of goodness. Striving for holiness as a people is the hallmark of Israel's existence. And holiness requires a degree of separation, apartness. Yet, what really makes us Jewish, what really defines us as a Jewish people, what really makes Jews a people set apart, is how we observe time. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel writes that Judaism is a religion of time rather than a religion of space. Judaism, he says, aims at the sanctification of time and teaches us to be attached to holiness in time, to be attached to sacred events, to learn how to consecrate sanctuaries that emerge from the magnificent stream of a year. Time and how we use time is the most particular, exclusive thing that one can observe. My future boss, Rabbi Michael Berg, teaches that Jews are actually the ones who invented the concept of the week. The idea of the lunar and the solar calendar had been around for millennia, but it was the Jewish people who broke up time into week-long segments. By observing time, we take our narrative, we take our belief, and we commit them to action. At the same time, those actions also commit us back to the Jewish narrative, connecting our personal story and the journey to that of the broader Jewish people. In this week's Torah portion and more, the Israelites are given the set times of the Jewish calendar, the times that set us as a people apart. We're given the timing for Shabbat, for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. God not only gives us the instructions for when these holidays are to occur, but also what you should do on them. On Shabbat we rest, on Rosh Hashanah we blow a shofar, on Yom Kippur we fast, on Matzah we eat, on Passover we eat matzah. I was making sure you're paying attention. And so on. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs teaches much of the book of Leviticus is about holiness of place, the sanctuary. Some of it is about the holiness of people, the Kohanim, the priests, and Israel as a whole as a kingdom of priests. But in chapter 23, the Torah turns to the holiness of time and the times of holiness. We are spiritual beings, but we are also physical beings. We cannot be spiritually close to God all the time. That's why there is a secular time as well as a holy time. But once in a while, we stop working and we enter the presence of the divine. On certain days of the year, the festivals, we celebrate our people's history. While the particulars of each holiday is observed, how each holiday is observed has changed throughout the generations. Thank God we don't have the, as Rabbi Eli Steinman calls it, HaKodesh barbecue anymore, with the temple in Jerusalem offering sacrifices. It is remarkable to notice that these holidays have been held on just about the exact same days on the Hebrew calendar for literally thousands of years. These dates are so important, in fact, that they're mentioned 5 times in the Torah. We are a people set apart by how we observe time. We are a people who approach a holy day and say in the words of the psalmist, Zeh hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismech havo. God made this day happen. Rejoice. Be glad. When we say Kiddush on Shabbat, we are not making the wine holy, misnomer from Hebrew school. We are using the wine as a sweet way to point to the fact that we are marking holy time as part of our obligation to remember the Shabbat day, to set it apart as sacred. These holy times do not just make us a people set apart. They are moments to offer something in addition to all of the gifts that you give to God, all of the gifts that you give to your friends and your family, all of the gifts that you offer to your community. The marking of time is something that is the foundation of, and something that gives depth to all of our Jewish cultural capital. The Torah recognizes that time is a precious gift. And when you observe time, you offer a gift. You offer yourself. For the last 5 years, I have been the lucky beneficiary of each of you offering yourself, volunteering your time, your gifts, as you showed me that this congregation is one that is truly set apart. I am so proud of everything that we have accomplished together. From visual tefillah, to jam and Shabbats, to Purim spiels, to movie nights, to just sitting and learning some Torah. I cannot thank each and every one of you enough for going on this journey with me. I am so grateful to each and every one of you who helped make everything that I've been able to do happen, because the reality is that none of it was done alone. Thank you for welcoming me, Sarah, Ari, and Maya into this community. When we are here, we're home. Thank you to everyone who opened your soul and your family by letting me participate in your life cycle event. I've been so honored to be a part of every bar and bat mitzvah, of every funeral, of every wedding, of every pastoral visit. Thank you to everyone who participated in a Purim spiel, on stage or off. Thank you to the Kol Atid community. Thank you to everyone who participated in all of the videos we made. Thank you to the board, past and present, who helped make my time here so meaningful. Thank you especially, Carrie Davidson, for your leadership here and for the movement. So many of the moments and organizations that I have been a part of are because of your leadership. It's going to be unfortunate not to run into you as much anymore. This community is very lucky to have you. Thank you to everyone involved with each pillar of the congregation. Thank you, David Glickman, for living the idea of transforming the world using Jewish values. Thank you to the ritual pillar, to Doug, to Neil, to Jane, Nancy, Debbie, Dan, Sam, Audrey, and Peter. By the way, did you guys know there's Peter's birthday today? Tomorrow. Close enough. It's Erev birthday. Thank you, Ritual Pillar, for working with me and supporting our prayerful experiments. And when they did not go well, and sometimes they did, thank you for communicating your feedback to me with compassion and from the perspective of an opportunity for growth. Thank you to Steve and Martha for working with me and putting on the Who Are You retreat. Thank you, Steve and Glenn, for inviting me to become your student rabbi and music director. These past 2 years, made it to page 7. These past 2 years in particular have had an incredible impact on my rabbinate and my soul. Thank you, each and every one of you here, for every conversation we had, for everything that each one of you has taught me, and every time you open my eyes to a new possibility and a new opportunity. Thank you to all the staff that has been here during these last 5 years, and especially thank you, Kelsey. Your efforts are noticed. This community is incredibly lucky to have you. And while I've enjoyed every moment in the office with you, the true enjoyment that I have comes from moments like this where you can see that you facilitate this community gathering for holy and special work. Thank you to all the students. I wrote this before I knew something yesterday. Thank you to all the student rabbis and clergy who stood on this bima before me. Thank you especially to Rabbi Greg Weissman, now Rabbi Michael Sheffrin, and Cantor Emeritus Mark Salzman. Your mentorship in ways large and small made a profound impact on me, and more importantly on this community. And thanks for being here. I would be remiss if I did not thank this community for welcoming our friend Rachel North, with open arms, and for helping us make our dreams come true. Rachel loved this community, and we always were talking about when we would get to sing together at Kol Ami again. It's especially fitting that the last time Rachel and I sang together, it was on this bima. I have to admit that's kind of a lie. The last time we sang together was right by those doors over there, doing Kiddush. And I will always remember her fondly, standing right there singing, Ki Yom Tequila. On behalf of the North family, who I hope is watching, and myself, thank you for welcoming her, and thank you for welcoming our music. Speaking of music, thank you, Lisa. You have been my musical partner all these years. You have helped me take a vision of what music at Kol Ami could be and made it a reality. I'm so grateful for your friendship and your partnership. Thank you, Max. I never thought all those years ago at Havana Shira and Mechina that we would have a chance to work this closely together. I'm so grateful for your partnership, for your friendship, and for your help in making these incredible moments happen together. Kol Ami is lucky to have you for another year. And the Jewish people are lucky to have you as their rabbi. Rabbi Denise L. Egger. anxiety with humor, so, there aren't enough words for me to properly thank you. These 5 years together have been some of the most transformative of my life. You have provided a sandbox for me to play in, and you've provided counsel every step of the way. You have taught me about rabbinic leadership. You've taught me about effective teaching. You've taught me about community building. You've taught me about listening and patience, and when to speak softly and when to raise your voice. Thank you for being my mentor. Thank you for being my partner in crime. Thank you for always calling me your co-clergy. And thank you for doing me the honor of presenting me on Sunday. Lastly, I want to tell you that each of you has given me a gift. Thank you for giving me the gift of when I asked, please sing with me, you always said, okay. Thank you for praying with me. Thank you for letting me pray with you. I should be lucky to be with any other community who is open and willing to go on a spiritual journey through prayer and communal life, as I've experienced at Kolami. Rabbi Sally Priesand teaches, in describing the Jewish calendar, Parshat Emor reminds us that Judaism is a religion of time and that holidays in our tradition are not just days off, but occasions to celebrate time and make it holy. To be a Jew means to understand that every moment in life represents an opportunity that will not come again. It represents an opportunity and a chance to make our days count. Congregation Kolami, dear friends, you have taught me that every moment in life represents an opportunity that will not come again. You are the angels I wish to see in the world. You have made our days count. And although we will be moving in June, we truly will never be apart. May your days count. May you continue to inspire the next generation of Jewish leaders. May this community continue to be one set apart for holiness. Shabbat shalom.